Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's miacaven, and today I'm joined by my lovely friend of 2 years, Amy Ashcroft. We met here 2 years ago. It was when we met Timothy. She came up to me and just complimented my art, and ever since we've just been following each other on social media. But today we're gonna do my first astrology video, which I spoke about in my last video. And I'm basically gonna like roast Amy based on her chart, and we're gonna like see how accurate it is. Are you skeptical of it?
I don't know. I don't know as much as I want to know about it because like I just feel like I've grown up in quite a skeptical like environment.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And it just feels like a lot to know. Like
there is a lot. Like I'm learning and I still see things and I'm like, I have no idea what that means. This? Kind of into it.
I'm into it, but I'm like, don't know as much as I should.
So we got your big three. So the big three is Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sun is the zodiac sign. Moon basically controls like emotions and responses. So if something emotional happens to you, how emotional are you? Like, are you angry? Like that kind of thing. And then Rising is more so like, some believe it's more like career path, and some believe it's kind of like a mix of personality, which is the sun sign. So that's why with horoscopes, it's mainly personality based. So your sun is Taurus, your moon is Libra, and your rising is Leo. So we have the exact same rising. So if we were to say it's career based, Leos are most known for wanting to be in the public eye of some sort. So they're very creative and they kind of just strive to be successful. It's just like, you know, everyone wants to be successful, but there are some people who kind of want it to be a bit more hidden.
Yeah.
Whereas Leos are very like, no, I want everyone to know I'm like doing this. So I know you're studying geography.
Yeah.
But is there any part of you that's ever wanted to be in the public eye?
I feel like there's always been a part of me that's wanted to, but you know, like it's like, oh well, it's easier to do the more academic route. And I've always been told that like I look like I should be really artistic. And, like people expect me to be studying arts and sort of go into maybe that sector and be in the public eye that way. But I've just
Well, I mean, you do YouTube, so that's like definitely part of your Leo rising, because YouTube, although like it doesn't guarantee fame as such, you're still putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a form of creativity.
Yeah.
Because even though it's not like outwardly art, it's still really creative. And so, because you know, it's visuals, it's film, it's, you know, you've got to do loads of stuff like to plan it and make it a thing, like editing and things like that, and audios, and plus you like theatre, so
yeah, that's true.
That's such a like Leo rising thing. And like obviously I'm into film, so we have that in common, and we have Timothy Chalamet in common. You said that obviously, you know, you've always wanted to like take the academic route in a sense, and that's definitely a part of your Taurus sun. So do you know about elements, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you have Taurus is earth, Libra is air, and Leo is fire. So you have quite a balance.
Yeah.
That's quite like interesting, because for me, I'm very like, I'm 2 fire and 1 water, so I'm like literally extinguishing myself, whereas you're quite balanced. So that's like really good, and that makes sense because I feel like you're quite a balanced person.
Yeah.
With a Taurus sun, so with an earth sun and a fire rising, I can see how the two might clash. So Taurus being like the predominant sign in a sense will really push you to do the academic route, because earth signs are very traditional. Earth signs are very academic. Earth signs always strive for knowledge. Earth signs are very wanting to be stable and like taking the route that makes most practical sense, even if it means more money or things like that. So I've written down personality traits for each placement of yours, and we're going to go through it. So your Taurus sun, are you practical?
I feel like I probably am quite practical. I mean, like, I was like, I want to go to London, and then I just planned it with people to try and like get that.
No, that's very practical.
Out.
I can definitely see that in you. Are you determined?
Again,
you are. You really are. Yeah. Okay, this one's interesting to me because I don't know how true this is. Are you materialistic?
See, I'm trying to like stop. I think I am. Like, I've always aspired to have sort of like a more minimalism style, but like I just, you know, I want to collect stuff. Like, so.
Yes. No, that makes a lot of sense. I think the minimalism is quite surprising. When I saw materialistic, I was like, that's quite surprising for earth signs, because earth signs are very traditional, so they don't need an excessive amount of anything. It's all about balance. So that minimalism in you that you kind of strive for, I would have assumed that came from the Taurus in you, the earth in you. Whereas I also am quite minimalist, and trying to be, at least. And I feel like maybe that's probably like both our Leo risings, because even though Leo risings are very, you know, glamorous and wanting to like show off, they kind of pride themselves of their ethic and everything. And so I feel like that's definitely like a way of working minimalism, because it makes everything easier. And this one's funny because I resonate with this one. Are you stubborn?
I didn't think I was, but like I'm like, people will recommend stuff to me, for example, and I'm like, I won't watch it. Like, I can have like 20 people be like, you have to watch a show, like you have to do it, and like the amount of people that be like, you have to watch Killing Eve, and I'm like, but like I want to, but I just won't until I finally go out of my way and I decide, okay, I'm going to do this myself, like not because anybody else recommends it to me, because I want to.
I mean, exact same. It's like if someone is pushing you to do something, I'm like, absolutely not. But then if I'm like, this is a good idea, I'll do it.
Exactly.
So this one's really funny, and this isn't a personality trait, but I just had to mention this. It makes sense why you have a connection to Kate Blanchett, because you have similar charts.
Okay.
So I think she's a Taurus as well. If not, she's an Earth sign.
She's born on the 25th of May, so I think she's right on the cusp of Taurus.
Right, okay, so she's a Taurus. So it makes a lot of sense, like, why you feel like connection, like, why you like her so much. I think with Earth signs, it's less common for them to be quite fanatical over people, like me, like obsessed with Timothy. So I feel when they do, it's because they see a part of themselves. It's definitely like you might have like similar work ethics, you may have similar interests, or just similar personalities, or because Earth signs actually are very attracted to other Earth signs. So an example would be Zendaya and Timothy. So Zendaya's a Virgo and Timothy's a Capricorn. They're both Earth signs, and they only recently met for June, and they immediately hit it off. And like you can see that in like their friendship and the way they present themselves on social media as well, and like their chemistry on screen, even from the trailer. And it's because Earth signs are all the same. Like you all have very similar morals. Okay, so we're gonna move on to your Libra moon. Do you care like about your image, like how you are perceived by other people?
I always want to like show myself off as like so much cooler than I am. And I'm like,
same. Me too.
Like I will spend ages like planning my outfits so that people think I'm cooler than I am. I'm like, please just like look at me and go, I want to be that good.
Because Libras, I feel like, are the closest to fire signs, and that's such a fire sign thing. And Libras love to have a form of attention. They love to be seen. Next one, I'm gonna say off the bat that this is true. Generous. Do you feel like you are?
I try to be, but I don't know. I try to be as like much as I can.
I think you are, because I think, like for example, how you met me, like how you walked up to me and were just nice. I feel like even though you weren't giving, it was still like a compliment to give. This isn't something you might know, but it's interesting. Libra moons often have the life lesson. So something that you might not learn early on, but you will proceed as you grow to learn, is that the only person you need to please is yourself.
And it sort of ties in with the generosity as well. Like, I want to be generous because I want to please you, and like that makes me feel good.
Yes,
and then
exactly. And so it's something. Do you feel like you are learning that, or do you
feel like slowly I'm sort of? I feel like lockdowns definitely help with that, because like I haven't been seeing people, so I sort of had to focus on myself.
It definitely forced everyone to be like internal. So next one. I think like this is, again, these are gonna sound so vague, but they make sense. You want a love, like a love interest or a relationship that isn't just physical. So obviously I know Meg.
She's lovely.
I love her. And I feel like everyone in general kind of has that like strive to have an emotional connection with someone. But it's definitely, obviously, with your Earth as well in your chart, again, tradition. Most Earth signs are known for like wanting marriage, wanting kids, and if you don't, it still makes sense with like your other placements. But it definitely makes sense to want, like with air placements as well, to just want a deeper sense of connection. And do you feel like that's definitely you, like that want to have that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like even just when I was starting, to specify with Meg, obviously, when we just like first started talking, I felt like I definitely had that emotional connection because we had so much in common.
Yeah, you
that,
do.
Like,
you do.
I feel like that definitely helps.
Yeah,
that, and I feel like even now we're still probably more like emotionally connected than physically connected, purely because of like lockdown and stuff. Like,
Let me try to explain this. So when we have traits and signs, we have obviously like all the positive stuff, but we also have all the negative stuff. And obviously like a lot of people don't like to admit the negative stuff, and like I'm a Leo, so I definitely don't like to admit the negative stuff. But what it's called is like the shadow side. So the shadow side is kind of like things that are negative, but we work on them, you know, like we kind of grow to learn lessons because of them. Libra moons specifically can be known to be quite like vain or fickle.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have those shadow aspects?
I feel like sometimes, like maybe especially like when I'm working with people,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of like clicks because obviously like, I spend ages like working, and I like I feel like I do things quite well, as in like my managers will like respect me. But then when I maybe do something that's not right, or maybe one of the other managers from another floor who doesn't know me as well will come and like tell me that I'm doing something wrong, then
that's and that makes a lot of sense, because like I said, like moon is emotions and reactions, and so for you to have that emotion and reaction to other people in a workplace, that makes a lot of sense. We have sensitive and emotional. Are you sensitive and emotional?
I feel like what I am, but like I won't let myself show it in a way. Like I've dealt with some stuff, and then that's meant that maybe I've closed up a bit. And like I have that emotional side, but I won't let myself feel it, or won't let myself show it.
Yeah. This kind of adds on. Do you, when you're alone, and you do feel emotional and sensitive, do you kind of wallow in that? Or
I feel like I definitely do. Like I'll just sit there and I'll like think to myself about it, or I'll like put on something that helps me like get in tune with that.
Yeah, bright and joyful. I think this is true, in my opinion. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think I try to be, and I try to like, at least for other people, like be as bright and joyful as I can.
Okay, so next we're gonna go on to the Leo rising. So this is the last part of the big three. Are you confident?
I try to be, but I don't know.
I think Leo risings strive to be confident. Okay, this one is so true, and you'll like have to admit this. Friendly and upbeat.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I find it quite easy to like make conversations with new people and be quite friendly with people. Like the amount of people I'm following on like Instagram because like I just went up to them sometimes like on trains. Like if there's but like if there's not a spare seat, I'll try and find like the nicest looking person, like somebody I feel like I can make a friendship with.
I resonate with this because it's also my big three. Throws tantrums.
The amount of times that I've like my sibling has told me something and I've just like thrown a tantrum and left and gone downstairs. It's just
this one, I feel like this is true, but I'm just making an assumption because like this is so true for me. High standards.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, more for myself than others. Yeah, I feel like I definitely put, like going back to like academia and stuff, I feel like I would always put the highest standards on myself, because even if I was like, I mean like I came out with my A-levels grades like lower than I wanted. And I feel like I definitely put that onto myself, and now like going into doing my degree, I'm like, if I don't get a first, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like,
okay, so the last one is adventurous. Are you adventurous?
I feel like I'm pretty adventurous. I mean, after I had it all planned after exams, I was literally going to go to New York by myself and like, just do my own thing for like a week and just
a month.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on coming back for work the weekend.
Overall, how do you feel it resonated.
I feel like most of it was pretty accurate. Yeah, like I've sort of only ever really looked at like my Taurus because you know when growing up you're only ever like taught about your sun sign and like. So I feel like obviously that wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it was nice learning more about the other parts of my signs.
And like how they work together and things like that. That was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please go over to Amy's. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I will be doing more of these, maybe with more people, more charts, I don't know. Probably some planet shift rundowns or something along those lines. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.